my beloved New Orleans Saints versus the Las Vegas Raiders. So this game, let's see. Game opened 5. It's moved to 5.5 to 6 across the board. New Orleans, obviously the favorite. First game in the new digs in Las Vegas. Monday Night Football. This is a really weird game for me. Because Michael Thomas is not playing, but Michael Thomas was non-existent in week 1 as well. Josh Jacobs had a really good game in week 1. The Raiders have a pretty suspect defense. The Saints were awful offensively in week 1, but they played a really good defense in the Bucs. The Saints probably should not have won the game by 11 or whatever they did. They probably should have won the game by like 3 or 4. They got a couple turnovers. They got a couple, blocked field goal. They had some stuff like that go right for them. I'm not so sure that the score from the Saints-Buccaneers game was correct. I'm not so sure. Now, the Raiders didn't exactly put away Carolina in convincing fashion. It's a lot of points. 6 points for a road team like this. That means that if this game was in New Orleans, you're talking about this game being double digits. Do I think the Saints, would I take the Saints minus 10 at home against the Raiders? I don't think so. I don't think the Saints offense is good enough to be giving up 10 points of value to anybody right now. They were awful. They were flat out terrible. Their defense was good. Their defense is really good. Their defense, ball hawks, defensive line is good. That could cause issue for the Raiders. I see this game being pretty low scoring. I see this game being the Saints come back to kind of, they shouldn't have scored 34 points. It was the ugliest 34 points I've ever seen a team score in NFL history. Bottom line. I've ever seen. So I don't believe in the Saints offense right now. Drew Brees was terrible. Probably the worst game I've ever seen Drew Brees play. And now you take away Michael Thomas, which is probably the most important. I take that back. He's probably a top 3 most important non-quarterback in the NFL. I was going to say the most important, but then Christian McCaffrey exists. So probably a top 3 most important non-quarterback player in the NFL. He's gone. What does the offense do? How big does it change? The offense already wasn't good. You're going on the road. We know the Saints struggle early in the season. The Saints have been awful. The Saints have been terrible in the first 2 games of the year in Sean Payton and Drew Brees' career. They won the first game. So for the Saints to go 2-0, that's a big difference. For the Saints to go 2-0 is a big change from their usual starts. So I think this game is low scoring. I think the Saints defense carries them against the Raiders. And I think that the Saints kind of go on the road and have their normal road struggles. Now, it being, Monday Night Football, new digs, do the Raiders get a boost from that? Playing their first game in Las Vegas, they're probably excited to play there. That could be a thing. No fans, feels bad, man, but it is what it is. This game, I think this will be an ugly Monday night game. I'd be looking at, Drew Brees unders. I'd be looking at the game under, but I'll probably end up taking the Raiders. I probably won't take them, but this probably will be one of my top 5 picks is the Raiders +6. It's just too much. I mean, like I said, you're talking about a 6-point swing from home and away like this. I just couldn't imagine the Saints being 10-point favorites at home against the Raiders. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the move. Breeze has to heat up a little bit. No one was good. We're going to the chat now. Front 7 from Tampa Bay was causing problems. I think you see a better-looking Saints offense against the Raiders. But what does that even mean? Like a better-looking Saints offense. Who's doing better? Because now you take away Mike Thomas. That has to be a thing, right? That has to be a negative. So if Michael Thomas is not there, what does a better-looking offense even look like? Is it more Kamara? Is it more Emmanuel Sanders? Is it more Jared Cook? You can't possibly say that the Saints are going to they scored 34 points. It's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, they'll do better. They'll look better. They'll be leaps and bounds better when you take away their most important player. The O-line won't be getting their ass whooped by Tampa Bay's D-line, so all around better, more time for Brees to throw, better run lanes. I think you might see more Kamara. I think this could be a big game for Kamara, but I don't see Brees doing much. I think Brees starts slow anyways. I think he's generally a slow starter. and you take away Mike Thomas, I think this could be a big spot for Breeze to struggle. So on the road, Saints usually play pretty meekly on the road. So I'm not super confident in this game as a Saints fan. I think we get the win, but it would not shock me at all if this game came down to a field goal late for either side. If I fell asleep Monday, if I passed out and I woke up and you told me, oh man, the Raiders won 23-20 on a last second field goal, I'd be like, I mean, okay. You know, like that's about right. That's I expect that to happen on the second game of the year. I think Saints plus 10 easy money. You must mean Saints minus 10. Because if the Saints were plus 10, that's insane. But the Saints minus 10, so you're saying the Saints win by 10 points. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, the Saints got all the breaks as far as like blocked field goals, turnovers. They won all those battles against Tampa Bay, and they won by 11 points. I think we can both agree that the Saints did not deserve to win that game by 11 points. So what does this line do? What is this line? And we know that was the most watched NFL game on Fox since the Super Bowl, or the only one that beats since the Super Bowl. So all the public watched that game. They saw Tom Brady get his ass kicked by 11. What happens if they win that game by 4? What happens if they win that game by 6? Is this line closer to 4? Is this line closer to Saints minus 3? I don't know. That's something you got to think about. I mean, I think another thing. I don't think Gruden is a great coach by any means, but I think an experienced coach like Gruden is going to be prepared for Sean Payton. He's better equipped to be prepared for a Sean Payton type guy. You know what I mean? So I think if I had to, I would take the Raiders here, and I would take the under.